Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. Today we are Southwest Airlines Flight 2153 leaving San Diego today. We are going to Midway, Chicago, and we have a block time of 3 hours and 55 minutes with a air time of 3 hours and 27 minutes. We have 137 passengers on our flight over to Chicago. We have a wind component of positive 33. So there's a nice tailwind that's going to be pushing us along the way there. Everything looks good along the way. Weather isn't too crazy. We're probably going to have some low clouds here. Well, you can probably see them. The clouds are kind of low today, leaving San Diego. So immediately after takeoff, we should be in the clouds. And if I'm going to move over to the second, or I might just bring it down here, so you all can look at it as well. Let me just type it in first. A little bit longer intro than I wanted to, but we're going to brief the weather, so that's fine. We're going to blow that up there. We're going to hit San Diego, and it's going to load and do its thing there. So yeah, we got some low clouds here. There's a few at 600. We got a few at 3,200, and then they're going to become scattered at about 25,000. So that's what I'm expecting out of San Diego. Altimeter is going to be 30.08, so I do have that set and ready to go. The weather's looking pretty good overall. So I'm going to move that page back on the third monitor there. And that's all fine and dandy there. There's not much we need to do when it comes to getting set up here for our flight. We're almost done here, so let's hop in the cockpit and finish setting up for our flight. Okay, so we are back in the cockpit of the 737 here. We are using 700 today. And the only thing that I need to do in here is the performance figures. So let's get this stuff calculated. So we're going to go over to performance tool. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy here catching a cold. Excuse me. We're going to be taking off from runway 27 out of San Diego. It has an elevation of 16 feet there. Runway heading of 275. So we can set the courses for 275. Boom. And let's finish here. Flaps are going to be optimum. Thrust rating optimum. No anti-ice on the way out today. Yep, no anti-ice on the way out. And let's just import the aircraft details. And we're good for calculation. So we have, I guess we have an extended center line there, I guess you would call that. So we have all of this room here to take off. So we're going to be V1 139, VR 140, V2 143. So let's insert 143 into the mock area. That's good there. And we can now insert these numbers. Our selected temperature for the thrust rating is going to be 46 Celsius. So let's go init ref, N1 limit. 46 on the selected temperature. And our rating is going to be takeoff. And the climb can go to takeoff as well. And that's good there. Let's go to the takeoff page. I have this instrument stuff on, like the CLB, because I have no idea of reading this trim. So that's probably going to be in the way, but that's fine. Let's zoom in. Flaps 1 on departure. That V speed was 143 for V2. 140 and 139. And we can click for the center of gravity, and that gives us a trim of 6.99. We can set that now. So we got the trim of 6.99 set, and at this point I believe we are FMC pre-flight complete. So now we can go with the checklist. Parking brake is going to be set for right now. Let's switch our camera view there. Parking brake is on. All guards are closed. Fuel pumps can come on here pretty soon. I'm going to do that once I get the pushback planned. We do have center fuel, so center pumps are going to be coming on today. Logo light not required. We are going to be in the hours of daylight. Cabin lights as required. Emergency exit lights, that guard is closed and armed. Passenger signs can come on as we are fully loaded, excuse me. And where is it at? Packs are going to be in the auto position. IRS modes are in the nav position, and FMC pre-flight is complete. Transponder is TARA. IAS and Mach speed is set. Heading and takeoff runway is set. Initial altitude of 37,000 feet is set. Yaw damper is on. Window heats. This is why we go through checklists. Window heats are on. Flight altitude is set. Like I said, 37,000 feet. No, I'm sorry. Initial altitude, we're clear to the transition level. So we're going to be going up to 18,000 feet there initially. I was looking at we're doing the Zoo 4 departure, the Zoo 4 departure here out of San Diego. And we got some terrain that we have to worry about on the way out. So I cleared us to the transition level, and we're going to be okay. Now, our flight altitude is 37,000 feet, and our landing altitude is 620 into midway. So I got us at 650. And that is good there. LNAV and VNAV is armed, or VNAV is armed. LNAV is going to come on a little bit later. That first waypoint is within 5 degrees of runway heading. So we're not allowed to arm LNAV at this time. Minimas and that stuff comes later. Altimeter is set, and the doors are going to be getting closed here shortly. So let's chat with the flight attendants, see what they are up to, and we'll be good to get on out of here.
I'd like to welcome our Rapid Reward members and all the customers aboard Southwest Airlines Flight 5790. Flight attendants serving today are Reggie. My name is Pierre. I'm serving your front show. Let's take off. We will serve complimentary soft drinks, juice, and coffee. Alcoholic beverages may be purchased with a credit card or a valid Southwest coupon. Please refer to the immediate secret pocket for a list of our beverage selections and prices. You now connect your devices on board the wireless communication system. We do offer free television for your convenience.
All right, guys. So the flight attendants are still doing their briefings back there. At this time, beacon can come on, or the anti-collision light. That's on. And I'm going to get a call to ground here, get our tug connected, and get us completely pushed back from the gate. And we will get engines 2 and 1 started in sequence. So I will see you guys once we're pushed back and just before engine start. Alright, guys, we have been completely pushed back from the gate there. We are going to be making the right-hand turn out of here. And we're going to be going down the Bravos all the way down to Bravo 1, and that's going to get us to the 27. So now we can go through the before start checklist. Auto throttle is armed. Fuel pumps can now come on. All fuel pumps can come on. Electric hydraulic pumps are going to be coming on now. Boom and boom. Anti-collision light is already on. Parking brake is required now. Ground equipment is removed and the engine areas are clear. We're going to be looking at our engine cam status here shortly. Packs are going to be coming off as well. And like I said, 2 and 1 are going to be started in sequence. So let's get the engine started so we can get on out of here.
Overhead disco lights on the floor, lead each exit. Everybody gets a door prize in the seat back pocket in front of you, along with dirty diapers, chewing gum wrappers, banana peels, and all of the gifts you leave for us from time to time. It's a safety information card. Take it out, check it out. You'll notice in the highly unlikely event that the captain lends us near a hot tub, everybody gets their very own teeny-weeny yellow Southwest bikini. Good looking they are. They're going to make sure your seat backs and tray table are in their full, upright, and absolute most uncomfortable position possible. And your carry-on items are crammed and shoved completely under the seat in front of you, leaving absolutely no room for your knees or feet. As you know, it's a no smoking, no whining, no complaining flight. It's a pleasing thank you, and you are such a good-looking flight attendant flight. Smoking is never allowed on board at Southwest. If you're caught smoking in the lavatory, the party that's student, place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. To activate the flow of oxygen, simply insert 75 cents for the first minute and 50 cents for each additional minute. Although that plastic bag may not inflate, you are receiving lots and lots of gin. Oxygen, that is. And if you're traveling with small children, we're sorry. Very special assistance like your husband, bless his heart, or your wife, put on your mask first. And that's it for the do's and don'ts of show and tell. Sit back and relax, or you can sit up and be tense. Either way, it's about a 2-hour flight, gate to gate, the clock is already ticking. Seriously, y'all, if there's anything at all that we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please tell us. Just as soon as we land in Dallas. And if there's anything you can do to make our flight more enjoyable, we'll tell you immediately. We're not shy at Southwest. That's what we call very cheap entertainment. Nobody had to pay extra, but you certainly don't get a refund. Thanks again for choosing Southwest, and welcome aboard. Okay, that's sweet, but cash is always better. Also, y'all, to enhance our beauty a little bit and set the ambiance, we're going to dim the cabin lights. If you need additional reading light, just push the button above your head with a hairy light bulb on it. That'll turn the light on. However, if you push the button above your head with a flight attendant on it, it does not turn us on.
All right, good people. We have 2 good engine starts there. Our lovely flight attendants are good back there. We can now do the before taxi checklist. We can now select our lovely engine generators, as we do have both of them on. We can trigger the APU to go off here. Hold on. Yep, APU should be coming down here. I'm just waiting for that needle to start dropping. And APU bleed can come off as well. And no anti-ice. Packs can come back to the auto position. And I'm gonna move this camera over here. I'm not sure what the APU is doing right now. It should be coming off here. So we can just continue the flows. I'm just gonna keep my eye on that on this this panel here. Elevator trim is set, flaps are set, engine switches can go to continuous. Got lost there. Flight controls are free and correct. We can get a recall. Nothing, which is good. Taxi light can now come on, and runway turn off lights are going to be coming on once we get on the runway there. And for the most part, we are good to go for taxi. And we're going to be taxiing all the way to 27. I'm just going to get this APU situation figured out, and we'll be getting going. There's the EGT is now starting to drop now. So we're good for taxi for 27. One more thing here too, guys. Probe heats. And that's it. Alright guys, we are now ready for departure here out of San Diego. We can line up here on runway 27, and I'm going to get flight recorder activated, and we can get on out of here. So let's release the parking brake. And let's get lined up here. Alright guys, we are now ready for departure here on runway 27. So we're going to release the parking brake here pretty soon, and let's just make sure everything is good. VNAV and LNAV is on at this time, and we are good to go. So we're going to hit clock, and I'm going to use my phone as well. Clock and clock. And let's release the parking brake. Spooler up to 40%. Toga. Ooh, that sounds amazing. Sterile cockpit from here, guys.
Airspeed alive. $80 knots.
80 knots check. Oh my god.
Rotate.
Rotate.
Pause the brake.
You're up. Autopilot on. No autopilot. There we go. Autopilot on, guys, from here. And we're just going to continue our departure via the Zoo 4 out of San Diego. And I'm just going to focus on flying the aircraft. Right, like I said, we were clear to the transition level, so we're climbing all the way up to 18,000. So at this point, since we're passing through 10 here, we can get all lights off. After takeoff checklist, positive rate of climb, yes. Auto brake goes off. Engine start switches can come off as well. Gear lever is in the off position. And runway turn, all lights are off. Cabin lights as required. And we're flipping over to the climb out checklist. We're going to be staying on command A until we land. Altimeters, we can make sure we're set on the local altimeter. And once again, all lights are off. Fuel check. No low pressure, so we can leave all those pumps on right now. And we're just going to continue climbing out via the, looks like our SID is just now starting, so we're going to follow our SID, and we're looking pretty good here. Alright, good people, we are leveling off here at the transition level, so we can hit standard on the pressure. And let's have a look at our waypoints here. So we're still at the transition level, yes. And the next few nautical miles, we're going to be basically flight level 300. So we can continue climbing up until flight level 300. We are going to hit level change, and we're just going to continue going on up. Alright guys, we have finally leveled off at 37,000 feet. This is going to be our cruising altitude for today. We have a block time of 3 hours and 55 minutes there, and we are roughly 28 minutes in. So we're going to be chilling here for the next 3 hours and some change on the way to Chicago. So sit back and enjoy the flight, guys. Alright guys, we are still here at flight level 37,000 feet. We are almost to the Nebraska-Iowa border there, so it's a good time for us to start thinking about our approach into Chicago. We are now going to be using our checklist, and we're going to be doing all of the before TOD task, which I have some of this stuff calculated already. I'm just refreshing the weather here and the aircraft details, and everything is still pretty much the same in here. So we're going to be flaps, maybe flaps 40. In the active section here on the nav panel, I have the ILS frequency, which is 109.900, and the Chicago Heights VOR set into standby, and that's good there. We have a borrow of 863 for midway. That is set there. We are going to be utilizing auto brakes 3 there on our landing, so I have that set for position 3. And the courses, the left and right courses, is set for 318, and the heading section is set for 318. We are initially going to be going down to 270, so we can have that pre-selected here on the altitude section for 270. And we are making a little right-hand turn there, and we are almost to our TOD. Let's check our progress page here. So we're 207 nautical miles away from our top of descent. Once we are a little less than 90 nautical miles from the top of descent, I am going to start descending for flight level 270. So I'll bring you guys back in when it's time to do that. And everything is done here, like I said, here in the FMC. And I'm not sure what else. Let's just refer to the checklist. The ATIS and airport information is checked. Altimeters are checked. Radios are set. The MCP altitude has been checked. The FMC approach speed reference is set. The localizer frequency is set, and the ILS loc course is set. We are going to be keeping the anti-ice on. Our landing altitude is going to be 650 with the 620 elevation there at midway. That's good there. We can confirm that the borrows is set, and the auto brake is going to be set for position 3. So before TOD and descent checklist is complete. We are going to be doing the approach checklist here pretty soon, but we're going to save that for our 10s. But for the most part, we're going to chill here for a few minutes, and I'll bring you guys back when it's time to start descending. Alright guys, we are 64 nautical miles away from our top of descent, so we are now going to start descending flight level 270. And then, like I said, the approach checklist stuff is going to be coming as we start going through our 10 checks. But as of right now, we can start descending, and the seatbelt signs can come on. And we can hit level change, and we can go all the way down to flight level 270.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we make our final descent, we ask that you please return all seatbelts and tray tables to the full upright and locked position. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin one last time
Alright guys, we are passing through that Campbell waypoint. We are approaching MIGs here. So for MIGs, I want to be flight level 210. So we're going to plug 210 into the box. And we're going to hit level change. And we're just going to keep going down so we can meet the restrictions for MIGs. And some things did change here. We are now going to be flaps 40 at 129. I don't know. The stopping margin is very questionable, but I don't want to use max auto brakes and full reverse. I think that would be some more of non-normal conditions. So we're just gonna pretty much have to get her down. Midway is we're not gonna be all about smooth landings today. We're just gonna get the 737 on the ground, and hopefully we can get this done safely. And for the Edens, we can go down to 190. Level change. And we're going to look at the altimeter here for Midway, and it's going to be 3000. So we can back set that altimeter. So we got the altimeter ready to go, and once we pass through the transition level, we'll get that set out. I just ran over my foot there, but we're looking good here on the descent. Let's see. I'm looking at the star here. Eden's, like I said, wants us above 190, but below 210. So we're fine at 190. Purity, we have that 150 and 190 restriction there, below or above. And we got the Ocho, 140, 160. And then it looks like our final restriction is going to be the Indy there. And then we're free to do whatever we need to do. Until about 6,000. And we are now going to go down to 150. Level change. I'm trying to maintain this profile here. But we're looking pretty good. I'm cycling over between, at some point, I'm going to take us out of VNAV path, but I do want to do majority of the descent and VNAV path. ND is going to be 250, so we're probably going to be, do about 240 there, 230. I'll see when we get there. But for the most part, we're just going to keep descending. We are through the transition level, so we can set altimeter 3000, and we can hit B for the standby instrument as well. So the weather is now 30.03. Alright guys, and we are going further down to 10,000 feet. Level change. And we could slow things down to 235 knots, or 240 knots. And we're gonna let the auto throttle handle that. It should be bringing it down, which it is. And we probably could get some speed brake in here as well. We're gonna bring it to the flight detip, and that should help us get down as well. Alright guys, it is now time to do our 10s. We have our speed is going to be 240 knots. Landing lights and all lights can come on. Start switches are going to go to continuous. That's us leveling off there. Wing light can come on, and the position light is going to be on as well. And I think that is good to go here. It's getting a little dark here, so I'm also going to get the logo light on as well. Let's see how we're looking on the altitude. We're clear to 6,000. Level change. And I'm going to keep the speed brake out as well. And we could get some vertical speed in here. We are 287. So we need about 1,500 feet per minute here. VS minus 15. And we're going to go all the way down to 6,000. Altimeters are set. Passenger signs are on. Localizer frequencies are all checked. The course is checked and set. The approach mode can be armed. And I'm going to save that a little bit later. I'm going to do my thing there. And flaps are going to be coming down here shortly. Let's have a look at the waypoint here. Yep, so once we pass up Indy there, I'm going to get some flaps in, and I'm probably going to start slowing this down a little bit further to 220 knots. Alright, and we are coming up on the Andy here. We can now slow down to 220 knots. And once we get set there at 220 knots, I'm going to start getting the flaps out, starting with flaps 5. Alright, and I am going to put us to 250 now. Or 3,000. Level change. And I did put the flaps away, and I have us at 210. Could probably bring it back up to 220. Yes, and we're gonna keep that till about the Runts waypoint. And approach mode is gonna, localizer can actually come on now probably. And pretty soon I am gonna get the approach active, and we are gonna do the command B as well. And my course stuff did. I'm gonna reset that. Alright guys, we are coming up on the runs here, 5 nautical miles to go. From midway we are 11. Once we are about 8 to 10 nautical miles away, we're going to go gear down. And we are here at flaps 5, so we can go down to flaps 10. And we can slow it down to roughly flaps 10 speed there. I am going to arm the approach here, and we could go to 170. We got the buildings coming in there, and we are almost down here on the ground, guys. Hopefully we have a good landing. Command B, both autopilots can come on as well. Gear down. We can put 134 in the box. And we can go down flaps 4. Landing checklist.
1,000.
1,000. Glide slope. Let's just pay attention here.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
My aircraft. I don't normally disengage the autopilot this far out, but we're just gonna follow the ILS here.
500. 400.
We're looking good there, guys.
Minimums.
Approaching minimums.
Minimums.
Continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20,
Raise the nose there.
10,
Nose down. And we're going to trigger the reversers. $60 knots, and we can stow them. Woohoo! Manual braking here, and let's get turned off. Welcome to Chicago, everybody.
Securely fastened and your luggage right where it is until the aircraft comes to a complete stop at the gate and the captain's turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. We would like to remind you to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items you place there may have shifted in flight. If you're continuing on flight 1060,
Alright guys, we are completely parked up here. For right now we're going to switch over to the APU gens, and we're going to request a ground power unit. But first we are going to get the jetway connected to us. This one should start connecting to us pretty soon. Let's see here. Nope, we're gonna have to use Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know why it's been doing that lately. Ground services, tune midway ground, request a jetway. Now they go. They're moving it now. And we can get the GPU card there. They're going to hold on and request ground power. While they're connecting that stuff down there, engines 2 and 1 can come off here. Alright everyone, we have successfully completed our flight over to Chicago today. it was a nice one. I enjoyed this one. I wasn't expecting it. It seemed like something was going wrong there towards the end, but I managed to keep it together. And something was going on with the approach stuff there, so I had to manually take over. That's no problem there. We still were able to get back on the ground safe, and that's all that matters. And I really hope you guys enjoy this one, because I did. I will see you guys on the next one, and take care. Happy New Year.